So please give me the permission to share. Like I was saying that we have two type of pipe that can be used. Or we black steel pipe. Sometimes your HDPE pipe can be used also. Now, under that black steel pipe, we have the seamless pipe and we have the what? Seamed pipe. If you are talking about this seamed pipe, it can withstand a bar of 4 to 7 bar, which is not usually being recommended by consultants. So they usually recommend seamless pipe. Seamless pipe can withstand 4 to 9 bar. What did I mean by 4 to 9 bar? There's something we called now. There's something we called. Hold on, please. There's something we called fire pump. Now, this is your pump now. Your pump is usually between 0 to 10 bar. Sometimes some are even higher above that. Now, when your installation is being done, your pump is usually being put at a pressure bar. Are you getting me? In this your pump, we have 3 pumps. We have the jockey pump, we have the fire pump, diesel pump. Yes, diesel pump. In this case now, we have three pump being installed as one. Now, this pump will now be automatically set at a particular bar. Are you getting me? This bar must not be higher than your pressure your pipe can withstand. What did I mean? You can install a seamless pipe, but your pump will not be set at a bar above 7. Because when your pump is being set at 7, now a day will come that there will be fire outbreak. When there is fire outbreak and you on your pump at a bar above 7 and you put your pressure line that cannot withstand more than 7 bar, you install a seam pipe of 4 to 7 bar and your pump is being set at 9 bar and there is fire outbreak and you're on your pump without adjusting your bar. Now, when your pipe is being put at that pressure, even when a fire outbreak is going on, your pressure line will also burst at that tendency. What I mean is that the pipe has already superseded its elasticity. Elasticity means something that can withstand just 4 to 7 bar, and now put it on 9 bar. Immediately, you just see an explosion, which is very, very, very dangerous. Now, you tend to put your specification, install schedule seamless pipe, either schedule 40 or schedule 80. But like I said, I usually recommend schedule 80 based on all these fire line bursts, as in your black steel being put on pressure and all of a sudden burst. So I usually avoid that. Now, I'll talk about my sprinkler system. In this sprinkler system, and the diameter of your as the diameter of your pipe goes, it will keep reducing. Let's say from your pump room, it's come with 100 meter. 100 meter can never supply your sprinkler system or your sprinkler head. It will be reducing from 50, from your 100, 75, 63, 45, 32 mm, 25 mm, 20. Why your 15 mm will now be supplied to this your sprinkler head. When we get there, I'll try and put us through in that area. Now, what are the equipment you must? A rough equipment. You have your pump. From your pump, you have your air valve. Air valve is different from landing valve. The reason why we have an air valve is when there's air in your pressure line. When there's air in the pressure line, before your pipe is being put on pressure, you must be able to release that air. It's just like a nurse who want to give an injection to a patient. If there's air in your syringe, it's very dangerous. You have to remove the air in the line before you now pump. So you must have your air valve. You must have your landing valve. You must have your landing valve. You must have your gate valve and some other valve if it is being recommended. You must have your elbow. Like in your plumbing, we have our elbow. In this elbow, we have 90-degree elbow, and we have what? And we have our 45-degree elbow. Let's not forget that anywhere that looks like a T, you will also have your T in this case now. Anywhere your pipe is reducing, you will also have a reducer. Pipe. You want to reduce it to 75 mm pipe. There is a reducer for that. Now, let's not forget that your pipe, you will also paint it. In this case now, you'll be requesting for something called your red oxide. Now, let's not forget that at every interval of your joint, now, you want to fix a pipe. These pipes are very heavy. And a pipe is at 6 meter length. But now you can't see 6 meter, you see for 5.8 meter length. Now, when according to the specification and requirements, you must weld three pipes together in this case. When you weld three pipes together, you know that when you want to join three pipes together, you weld it at a point whereby it's meeting. Now you have three pipes being joined together, and you have another three pipes being joined together, and you now want to join them together. You are not welding them in this case. There's something called flanges. At every point of where three lengths of pipe are meeting, three lengths of two different pipes are meeting, you now use flanges. If you have 100 mm pipe, it shows that you use 150 mm flanges. And at everywhere two pipes are meeting, you will use two flanges. Now, when your flanges is being used in this case now, you can't just use your flanges alone. There's something we call gasket. Gasket means if you look at some of your pipe, if you buy all these plumbing fittings, there will surely be a rubber at the edge. That's what we call gasket in this case now. Now, let's not forget that when your pipe is being buried inside the ground, after you painting, you must wrap it up with something called Denso tape. The Denso tape is like a sellotape, but it's not an ordinary sellotape we just used to wrap your normal. Maybe you want to give someone an amper. No, it's more stronger. We have Denso tape of different diameter. If you have 100 mm pipe, you use 100 mm Denso tape. In this case now, you have your own sprinkler head. As your sprinkler head, you use a small elbow, and you now use something called your nipple. So in this case now, so I'm just trying to give us an insight of where we start the measurement. And let's not forget that you also do something called pressure testing. Pressure testing is just to know maybe there are no leakages on your fire hydrant line pipe. Now we have our external fire hydrants. When you are talking about your external fire hydrant, you will now be talking about your something called your hydrant pillar in this case. If you are talking about your hydrant pillar, at every hydrant pillar, there will surely be an hose drill and your hose drill cabinet. I'll try and show it to us. I know that most of us have seen fire hydrant pillar. Let me just show the picture. Sorry for that. Now, let me show a particular picture here. Some of us will have seen some of these pictures. Now, this is a two-way fire hydrant pillar. Now, at each fire hydrant pillar, there is also called your hose reel cabinet and your hose itself. Let me show you that your hose reel cabinet is something that we might be seeing, but we did not take note. Now, this is my hose reel cabinet now. I know that most of us have seen this thing. This is my cabinet with my hose reel. Now, in this our hose reel, you be seeing your hose reel cabinet. You be seeing your fire. Okay, let me go back to our drawing now. You be seeing our fire hydrant, like I was saying. Now, look at this drawing now. This is your pump, or this is your, how will I call it? Call it your tank. Like we are saying, we have different type of tank. We have the fiber tank, we have the braithwaite tank, we have the steel tank. So that we treated maybe when we get to our water treatment plant, or when we have the opportunity of talking about our own ST to WTP. Now, this is your fire hydrant line now. Are we there with me?
Yes,
hello.
Yes.
Now this is your fire hydrant line. Now, you see there are some. Now, these are the cabinets now. Hose reel cabinets. Can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 hose reel cabinets. And at every cabinet, you must have your hydrant, as in your two-way pillar. Now, at each interval, now we will also have our what? Our hydrant pillar. Now, even in this case now, you can be able to calculate the numbers of elbow being required here. You have your elbow. In this case now, pipe are usually being buried inside the soil. So in this case now, you are not just only painting your pipe, you will also wrap it up with the what? Tensor tape in this case. And in this case now, flanges is being required there. Your gasket is being required in this aspect now. So this is what we call fire hydrant, external fire hydrant. Now, like I was saying, I'm talking about fire fighting. You'll be talking about fire extinguisher. Let's not forget that we have different fire extinguisher. We have the CO2, we have this DCP, we have the electrical fire extinguisher. We have type A, type B, type C, type D. I don't want to be going into different type of fire extinguisher we have. We can just search that one online. Except now, this is our hose reel system. Hose reel system is usually being common in our lecture hall. Like in my school now, my school doesn't use an external fire hydrant, but they use an hose reel system. This is my hose. Let's not forget that in this hose, there's something called air valve. Air valve will be used in order to release the air in the line. So this is our hose reel system now. Now, we have different pumps. And let's not forget, we have different type of pumps of different brands. But most usually is being recommended by the consultant, usually Luwara. If a consultant is not recommending Luwara, he will recommend Grondos, because these are the best brand. Even if you don't tell me which type of brand of pump you want to use, I already know the brand you want. Is it Luwara? Is it Grondos? Because these are the two brands I knew that, yes, if you get the original, I'm not talking about the China type. If you get the England made, certificated, these are pumps that can last long, more than 10 years or even more than that. Are we there? Now, I've spoken about your fire hydrant, external fire hydrant. I talk about the sprinkler system, and I talk about the hose reel system. Now, if you're not talking about the measurement aspect, like I said earlier that day, you'll be talking about your hose reel system. Like I said earlier that day, you'll be talking about your terminal equipment, primary equipment, and some other things. Now, you now determine how many fire extinguisher is it being specified on the drawing. Remember, we have 9 kg, we have 6 kg. So I just name it as, okay, we have 31. I'll try and send the drawing to us. Maybe probably next week we now talk about the measurement of the pipe, either for external fire hydrant. If possible, we can talk about the external fire hydrant tonight. Now, we have the portable fire extinguisher. We have the DCP, which is the dry chemical powder, and we have the carbon oxide. In this case now, DCP can never be used against carbon dioxide. and carbon dioxide can never be used in place of discipline. Now we have our hose drill. So hose drill system. How many hose drill do we have? We have 11. Now, if you're now talking about the pipe aspect now let me not waste our time. Let me try and open a drawing so that you understand what I'm talking about. Sorry for that. I'm trying to open a drawing so that you understand what I'm talking about. I didn't just want to start from something that will look difficult to us. Okay. Okay, now. Okay. I'm trying to get us a schematic of what we want to talk about now, so that we have a okay, let me share my screen now. Now, if you look at my screen now, look at this my sprinkler system now. Dry pipe sprinkler system. We have the pipe, we have the dry pipe valve. Like I was saying, we have different type of valve. We have landing valve, gate valve, air valve. We have the gate valve. We have the check valve in this place now. Now, water is being supplied into the building. Now, look at our wet pipe system. Okay, we have the foam water sprinkler system, and we have the we have the dilute system. But most especially, we don't use the foam, we use a dilute system here in Nigeria now. So, like I was saying, we have the fire pump. This is how the fire pump looks like. This is a Lowara brand of fire pump. You can see how it is being coupled, which is more expensive. So, some will cost you nothing less than 10, 12, 15 million naira per one, even above that, based on the capacity. Now, in that pump now, we have three types of pump being, we have the standby and we have the duty. The pumps are the duty pump, the standby pump, and we have the jockey pump. This jockey, see here, this pump has three. You can see 1, 2, and 3. We have the jockey pump, we have the diesel, some will call it diesel. We have the standby pump and the likes. I will then send us this note. So this is our pump. We have the duty, the standby. These are automatic. So these are the what? These are the type of the pump we have. Now look at this one sprinkler head. When it's functioning, this is how it to be functioning. When it's being put under pressure, they call it sprinkler, means it will sprinkle at a particular distance and at a particular radius and at a particular pressure. I think I've shown all these things. Okay, like I was saying, we have different type of fire extinguisher. We have the types A, we have the class A, we have the class A, class B, class C, and the class D in this case now. Now, if you are talking about the class B or class C, it's usually being used for fire. We have the carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, contains pressurized liquid carbon dioxide, which turns to gas when expelled off a particular important. If the fire protection is in the area with a sensitive electronic equipment, we have our class D. Class D is our DCP, which is the dry powder. It's usually being used where they are basically two types of class D fire extinguisher. We have the type A class D is the sodium chloride. The extinguisher agent for type 2 class D is a copper-based dry powder. You can see how it's being look like. We have the water mist fire extinguisher, usually being called class D. It's usually being used when there's electrical. That's why in your electrical room, you can never see a DCP or a what or a CO2. You see a class D. They call it water mist fire extinguisher. We have our class K, wet chemical fire extinguisher. Purple K extinguisher contains special fluidize and siliconized potassium carbonate dry chemical, which is particularly effective on class B. Wet chemical fire extinguisher are the best restaurant kitchen appliance, usually being used in your kitchen. Are you getting me? We have operating. How do you operate your fire extinguisher? I'm not trying to take us through something called HSC on this thing. We have pass, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Whereby you pull the pin, aim the nozzle at the base, not at the top, squeeze the hand and what? And sweep nozzle side to side. So we have different signage of fire extinguisher chart. We have the water, foam, dry powder, and we have the carbon dioxide, CO2. You can see that we have four. We have the class A, class B, class C, class D. Now, let's now move to our normal work of the day. Whereby we'll be talking about our what? Fire hydrant system. In this case, let me try and project the drawing now. Yes. Now, look. Now we want to deal with our what? External fire hydrant system now. You can see that our pump is being specified here. We have the fire pump set, one jockey, one electrical, and one diesel. And we have duty as what? 350 GMP, 22 liter per seconds at a head of what? 80 meter. That the head means it can go at a range of what? 80 meter. In this case now. Now let me try and open it for us. Please hold on for me. Fire hydrant. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yes, sir, we're with you, sir.
Can we call it a day now? Can we call it a day while we start our measurement next week? I think.
Yes, I think it is 2 hours already, and based on what we discussed with our members, we said
Yes.
6 to 8. And if it hadn't been the 7 we started, then it should be 7 to 9. Is that 6 to 8 or 7 to 9? So I think since it's been 2 hours, we can actually start the measurement fully next week. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I will send you the drawing now. Okay, I'm already sending it to you now. So you can just share it to the group. So I will try and share us the drawing we will be using next week. So
All right.
so
All
that
right.
we can move faster and be sure that we round up the class because I want to take us through the, if possible, fire hydrant and the fire and the sprinkler system. Maybe probably I can now send us a taking off on the hose drill aspect, because hose drill is very simple. Please, any questions so far before we call it a day? Any questions so far before we call it a day?
I think uh the fire alarm system and the firefighting tools. Uh, there is these are types that they used to mention in all those firefighting equipment. And can we just know about probably the one that you have used, or the practical example, probably the one that you have witnessed, or something of such?
Okay, do you mean this fire alarm system? Okay, let me give an example now. Fire alarm system, which is popularly known as electrical extra low voltage, will just detect fire for you. Are you getting me?
Yes, yes,
This
yes, I can hear you.
smoke detector, heat the detector, your FCAP, that's fire alarm critical panel. They will just detect you have your break glass, minor break glass, minor core point. We just detect that, okay, there's a smoke going on in the building. Are you getting me? Why your fire hydrant
Yes.
system will now be the one to quench your fire, to quench the fire. Your EAB work with the electrical part, while your fire hydrant work with the water part. Are you getting my explanation? Maybe I will try and get a video. I think I have a video. Yes, I have a video. Please, let me just try and display the video for you, so that you understand what I'm talking about before time goes. So do you understand what I mean by? I think I did. I think I did something of recent under gas station. I should able to produce a video. Yes, I've seen the video. So this one will be more okay for us. Okay, hold on. Okay, now, okay. I've seen the video. So let's just use this video to just wrap it up now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me just return back the video. Now, this is your hose drill system. This is your hose drill system now.
Okay.
Can you see your cabinet?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
white
sir.
one. The white one.
The one on the wall.
This is your cabinet now. In a what? And hose inside. Can you see?
Yes, yes, yes.
If I still
Okay.
have,
Yes, yeah, I can see it now. The red box. Mm.
The external, I this is the external hydrant line, which is being placed on surface line. Now, this your this your hydrant pillar. You can see that it's being linked up. You can see your own hydrant line. So this one is just for. I don't need this one. Sorry for that. So next week by the grace of God, we will be discussing majorly on the measurement aspects. I pray we should be able. External fire hydrant cannot take time. The only place that can take time a bit is your sprinkler system. So I pray that by this time next week will be more than this. So any question before we call it a day? So I'll try and get a comprehensive drawing on fire hydrant system. Any question? Any AOB?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. In the absence of no question,